The new lightweights are looking to take the OGs off their pedestals, but have since fallen completely flat. Rafael Fiziev was outpointed by Justin, BSD was recently flatlined by the Diamond, but now, perhaps the most talented new prospect on the block, Arman Tsarukyan, is looking to dethrone the absolute legend and former champion, Charles du Bronx Oliveira. However, as talented as this guy is, we think that Oliveira is going to make it 3-0 to the old dogs, and in this video, we'll explain exactly why. So UFC 300 is getting even closer, and one of the most surprising fights on the card when it was announced was Oliveira versus Tsarukyan. I mean, Oliveira is currently the #1 ranked lightweight, and many believe he would be next in line for a title shot, despite losing pretty, shall we say, conclusively against Islam in 2022. So, when Dana White announced that Olives would be taking on Tsarukyan, a very dangerous fight that will do nothing to improve the Brazilian's ranking, it's safe to say the fans were left confused. However, the Du Bronx team have explained their reasons for taking on this high-risk, low-reward fight, and they're actually pretty compelling. Oliveira hasn't exactly been the most active fighter in the last couple of years, having fought just once in 2023. They want him active again and 100% ready for a rematch against Islam. And what better way to prepare for a fight against a high-level Russian wrestler than to, fight another high-level Russian wrestler. As for Tsarukyan, this is easily the biggest fight of his career. If he can run through Oliveira, a guy who has beaten Justin, Dustin, and Chandler in the last 3 years, well, it's safe to say that his stock is going to soar higher than Dana White's blood pressure after he signed that $335 million settlement. So, we've got a pretty good backdrop for this fight. It's essentially a make or break for both fighters. If Charles loses, it's going to be a long way back to the top. But if he wins, he'll cement the fact that currently the top 4 lightweights are still leagues above the rest. And for Tsarukyan, a win will genuinely put him in the title shot contention, while a loss will seriously damage his reputation, and he'll start to be regarded as the guy who always fumbles against the top guys. With that being said, we only see this fight going one way, and it's good news if you're an Oliveira fan, because in our view, the Brazilian is going to brutalise the young prospect. Why? Well, he holds all the tools to take the Russian out. Advantage number 1. Scary submissions. For one, Oliveira is perhaps the most dangerous active fighter on the ground, with a total of 16 submission wins, a record in the UFC. When you're Tsarukyan, a guy who relies on taking fights to the ground, this kind of finish rate does not bode well. Ever since the Islam fight, people have been sleeping on how dangerous Charles is on the ground. Sure, he got put in a bad position and was beaten fair and square, but if you were to run that fight back another 10 times, Oliveira could find 10 different ways to win that fight on the ground. And against a guy whose grappling game just isn't as good as Islam's, those submission opportunities are only going to be higher. Advantage number 2, unreal power. But don't let Oliveira's ground game take away from his stand-up, because the guy is one of the most devastating Thai boxers in the entire roster. Those hooks, knees from the clinch, and straight backhands are all lethal. And Oliveira has proven that he can outbox the best boxers like Dustin, and outpower tanks like Justin and Chandler. Tsarukyan's stand-up, on the other hand, is far from out of this world. Sure, he can bang, but let's not forget the guy was beaten by Gamrot, who isn't half as dangerous as Oliveira on the feet. Because of this, Olives is going to be able to light up Arman on the feet, pretty much however he deems it, and with that power, a knockout will be inevitable at some stage. Advantage number 3, experience. And finally, Oliveira holds a massive advantage in experience. Charles has shared the cage with the BMFs of the lightweight division, and he has faced virtually every style out there, from Islam's wrestling to Dustin's crisp boxing. He's also been fighting in 5-round fights for years and knows how to manage a long fight. Tsarukyan, on the other hand, has been facing significantly worse competition in the last few years. Sure, you can't blame him for this, because who he faces is ultimately out of his control. But just as Fiziev and BSD found out, Tsarukyan is going to learn that when you step in with a top 3 lightweight, you're going to be shown levels. Ultimately, the sheer dangerousness of Charles du Bronx Oliveira is seriously being slept on in the lead up to this fight. He's somehow an underdog going into the bout, despite having the most finishes in UFC history, despite beating everyone that the lightweight division had to offer. Take Islam. And despite the fact that he cemented himself as one of the greatest lightweights of all time. The worst thing you can do is underestimate a master fighter, and we predict that Olives is going to silence a lot of doubters with a highlight reel knockout finish.